There's a lot of cursed things about living in Ohio. I can't even start to name them, but with curses come blessings. And one of those blessings is we're the home of the longest yard sale in the world. The 127 sale located on Highway 127. And okay, I already lied. It's not only held in Ohio, it actually spans 6 states. Alabama to Michigan. I just drove 2 hours to get to the part of it that's closest to me, and who knows how far we're gonna get. A mile down the road, 20 miles down the road, maybe we'll end up in Alabama. That's definitely not gonna happen because I have to be home in time for dinner. Anyways, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. We already started off strong. It is 85 degrees. We're in a cornfield, and I chose to wear flannel lined denim today. What's wrong with me? Me. You. So hot, even the buttons are sweating. One thing about me is I will fumble the bag at the most important moment and forget my memory card. Thank goodness I'm in the land of the Walmart Supercenter. And also thank goodness at that first yard sale. Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm gonna die. I got this made in Japan Swiss Army knife so that I can open it. Because the people in Walmart said, no, you cannot use our scissors. And I said, don't worry, I have a knife. Okay, let's keep going. We've made it to the apex of our search. This is the Rustic Hill carry-out and drive-through, and is listed as one of the large vendor maps on the 127 sale. It looks pretty good. I also passed so many other sales on the way here, like barn sales, normal yard sales, and I feel like that's actually where the treasure is gonna be. So after we leave here, I'm gonna backtrack to the 4 or 5 that I passed. This is fun. It's like a community yard sale, but that goes for 900 miles. And I've already found some treasure. I don't want to show you yet, besides the knife, but I found some goodies. Okay. increasing number of guns. And here's our weekly check-in to ask, do you have your Wawa? Are you staying hydrated? Because boy, oh boy, I certainly needed hydration this day. Thank you, Emotional Support Water Bottle, and thank you to the sponsor of today's video for helping me with that. We all know in the summertime, when the weather is hot, hydration and taking care of our corporeal forms is extra important so that we can make sure to keep up our energy for all of our summer activities, biking, swimming, going to the world's longest yard sale. Y'all know I'm always checking on you to make sure that you're staying hydrated because I'm famously not very good at doing it for myself. So I'm very thankful to the sponsor of today's video, Beam, for helping us out with that. Regular water, boring in my opinion. So for the last 4 months or so, I've been adding Glow Super Powder from Beam to my Emotional Support Water Bottle, and it has been awesome. I usually add like half and then save this, add more later. Something to look forward to. Glow has all kinds of supportive ingredients too, especially as a 32-year-old lady. I love knowing that important things for long-term wellness, like selenium, magnesium, and zinc, are all packaged up in my delicious and very cute pink drink. I also really appreciate that Beam let me try this out for an extended period of time before deciding if I wanted to share it with y'all. I think they reached out in April, and I've been drinking it ever since. So if you'd like to add some lovely supplemental power to your daily hydration, you can use code Kathleen35 at the link down below and try it out for yourself. The raspberry flavor is my favorite. Thank you, Beam, for keeping my engines running for this thrifty adventure. Off we go. We parked next to the bog, so I think we're in the right place. Oh, stepped in a hole. Not everyone will be brave enough to say this, but 3 plungers, it's too many plungers. Apples. Those literally are not words. Apparently there's a barn sale back there somewhere. I have a feeling it's just gonna be like old farm equipment, but what if it's some cool person's whole, I think I'm gonna die. What if it's some cool person's whole wardrobe? Let's find out. It's back here. I don't know about this. Whoa. You say so. Choo choo. Hell yeah, let's look at this. Everyone needs a little grimace in their pocket.
Where you were before, couldn't look you in the eyes. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry.
Hi people, what an experience that was. And thank you to everyone who reminded me on Instagram that it was even happening. I've been aware of it in years past, the 127 sale, but it was always either just not a good time or it's kind of far away. I'm so glad we can make it happen this year. Will I ever go again? We'll talk about that. First, let's talk about everything I found. I didn't get too much. I think I spent a total of $25. Most of that was spent on vintage handkerchiefs. Okay, let's talk about this little beauty first. This is the very first thing I found and I was like, oh, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. I found this super sweet fluttery 2-piece set, and mostly I loved it because of the shape of the top. It's got this, again, handkerchief style bottom, fluttery bottom, some structure at the shoulders, which you know we love. I love, at least. That means shoulder pads. And this kind of square shape. It's kind of everything I love. Now I haven't tried it on yet, so let's do that and see if it even fits. Maybe what kind of alterations we'll need to make. This is unexpectedly so freaking cute. I love it. Which little baddie was rolling up to Sunday service and this? I did in fact get it at a church, the first place we stopped. The little zip tie, little keyhole back. back and the shoulders. Oh my gosh. And it was pay what you want, so it was in fact $1. Starting off strong. Okay, at that same stop, the first stop, but outside, there's so much stuff in here. Hold please. I found, I think 3 things, including this gorgeous little Avon kind of lariat style lily necklace. I feel like every time I go to the thrift store, I see Avon jewelry. It's kind of like the fast fashion direct to consumer costume jewelry back in the day, but I found it to be really good quality. Like, they just made it different, at least back then. It's actually my first time trying it on. What do we think? Pretty freaking cute. Very delicate and dangly, paired with something a little chunkier. That sounds right up my alley. I think it's backwards. I think it was $2 or $1. And speaking of prices, here I think is my main critique of the 127 sale in general. It's something I didn't think about before getting there. It's a famous event, you know? People have been doing it for years. If you're on that route, you're probably familiar with it. And that means that a lot of the people on the route, especially, sorry, I wasn't talking in the microphone, especially at the larger vendor locations, they're like professional flea marketers, yard sailors. So while some of the stuff is good, a lot of it was just kind of junk. It didn't really feel like I was digging through somebody's actual garage treasures. It felt like I was digging through a curated pile of stuff. So in that sense, it wasn't my favorite type of secondhand shopping. I think if you are going to do the 127 sale, maybe you don't mind the more flea market-y type of digging, but also there are tons of little yard sales. I think that they treat just kind of as community yard sales during this weekend, like off the beaten track a little bit. Turn off the main cornfield road, follow some signs into a little neighborhood, and maybe you'll find a little better selection of treasure. Anyways, tone shift from delicate lily necklace to horse girl pendant. I saw this and I was like, it's literally talking to me. I can see its mouth moving and it says, buy me, take me home. That's not a bad sign at all, is it? Let's see how it looks with the flowers. A powerful combo, to be sure. Now this was in the same area where I found this necklace from like a professional rummage sailor type of seller, and I got it from the nice section, like where they had the actual like sterling silver and some gold stuff. So I was like, how much is he gonna want for this? Like, it's with the nice stuff, but I mean, I'll pay like up to $5. I would love to pay $1 or $2. And I thought he was gonna say like 15 or something. So I took it up to him, said, how much are you thinking for this? And he's like, I like that one. And I was like, unfortunately, I do too. And he said, how about $2? And I was like, oh, fantastic. And I look in my bag, and unfortunately, I have a $1 bill left, and I have a $20 bill. So I said, I hate to break it to you, but you will have to break this $20 if you want $2, or I can just give you $1. And he said, perfect, done deal. And then I was like, wait, did I just accidentally game this man? Is this a tactic that people use of saying, well, I only have $1, or you could break my $20? And I don't think they want to be breaking $20 with all their change, you know? So that was accidental, but I did get a good deal, I think. Oh, and then another tone shift. We got to keep a better eye on my sharp objects. I found it. This sick utility knife guy. Is it still called a Swiss Army knife if it's not made in Switzerland? I love the bright yellow color. I love the fun kind of vintage burgundy outside. And I was thinking, there are just so many times in my life when I need a little sharp object or a little tiny screwdriver or something of the sort. I should start carrying this around with me. It was $3, and I was happy to pay that. I think this is part of the reason why I didn't have very many $1 bills left, because I got this pretty early. So I spent most of my $1 on that. When I got home, Gus was very jealous of this, which, you know, what's mine is his, and what's his is mine. But I am going to be keeping this in my bag. Sorry, Gus. Sorry. What does it have in here? We've got knife. We've got, ooh, serrated knife. That also has centimeters marked out on it. A little ruler. Cute. We've got can opener. Ooh, smaller knife. Scissors. Yes, I was hoping it would have little tiny scissors. I love these. Snip, snip. And what I'm going to guess is, in fact, another knife that's kind of hard to get out. Ooh, tiny knife. Another can opener. Why do I need 2? Other side, we've got, is it a lock pick? This is like the fine side. Tiny knife, blunt object, potentially screwdriver, and a corkscrew. What else could a girl want? And then finally, my biggest ticket item of the day, 10 vintage hankies. There were a bunch of people hovering around me while I was looking through these. Like, apparently this was the hot item. They all wanted to get a piece. And I was like, hold on, I might be buying this whole binder. I didn't, but I did buy buy 10. So they were marked at $3 each. So sweet. And I said to myself, I want these just to have them because they're cute, but I do need to have a reason to buy these. Oh, they're so sweet. So I thought, wouldn't these be a really sweet way to customize some boring crew necks or t-shirts in the coming months? Doing a fun little quilted patch on top of them. I love this one. I think it might be my favorite. Little butter kittens with green eyes. Yeah. Oh wait, I also love this one. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Oh wait, I love these. It's all the little weird cats. All the little weird cats you could ever want. Semi-recently, we did a big like handmade, hand-painted clothing charity sale where we raised so much money for Doctors Without Borders, and I thought doing something similar in the future would be fun. She's at the beach, her head's on backwards. It's no big deal. Anyways, these were $3 a piece. I got 10 of them. That would have been $30. And I was like, I don't really want to spend $30 on handkerchiefs right now. And also, I only have a $20 bill. So hopefully this works. And I go up and she says, I'll give you 25. And I say, unfortunately, I only have a $20 bill. Will that work for you? And she said, okay, I'll take them. It's that easy. I think maybe if you're buying things that are actually worth more money, your bartering and deal making mileage may vary. But for things like handkerchiefs, where I'm sure they're just hoping to sell them, wheeling and dealing served me well this day. Really appreciate you hanging out with me this week, coming on this adventure and trying something new. While I was driving, I thankfully had a great audiobook to listen to. I've been reading or listening to The Way of Kings, the first book in the Stormlight Archive series. It's reminding me of when I was reading like Game of Thrones or the Malazan series. Just that good chicken soup for the soul, knights and magic and sprites type of fantasy. I'm really enjoying it so far. I've read a bunch of Brandon Sanderson. Like I read the Mistborn series and some of his other one-off stuff, and I got really burnt out. That was a couple years ago. So I think it's about time that I burn myself out again. Let me know what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're making, what you're getting up to during the dog days of summer. And I'll be back next week. I think we're going to be doing some mending / making. Until then, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you stay very stinky, because you know that's what I love about you most. Okay, maybe second most. And I'll see you later. Okay, love you. Bye.